Alright, you lot, listen up. XDefiant's finally done something right. Season 2 is here with patch notes so bloody satisfying you'd think they were handwritten by gods of FPS gaming themselves. They've fixed more bugs than a dodgy takeaway, and trust me, you're gonna feel it. Slide into action without tripping over your own thumbs. And don't get me started on how they've actually made melee attacks punishable by law. Well, almost. But before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe and all that bollocks. It helps channel grow like a neglected houseplant finally seeing sunlight. Now, let's tear into this. So, devs finally sorting out some basic gameplay mechanics. You know, things that should have been working since day one. Like, oh, let's let people slide and jump without feeling like they're dragging a corpse. Genius, right? They fixed that issue where you couldn't sprint after ADS if you so much as breathed wrong. Brilliant. Because I'm sure we all loved a game where sprinting and aiming were optional features. Like buying an houseplant and opening it to water itself. Now you can sprint and shoot like normal people. We aren't game deciding we need a quick breather every time. Melee attacks. Now you actually get punished with a lovely half-speed movement penalty after someone smacks you in face. I mean, sure, you might be thinking, ow, that hurt. But no, game says, you deserve to feel that. Here, crawl away like a wounded snail. But hey, it's realistic, right? And let's not forget loadouts. They've added preset loadouts with attachments that actually make sense now. Instead of leaving you with Frankenstein's monstrous setup that'd have you wondering if devs ever played their own game, now you get a gun that actually works with its attachments. What a concept! I mean, this is kind of basic stuff that restores your faith in humanity. Or at least Ubisoft. Alright, let's talk about factions. The ones you love, the ones you hate, the ones that make you wonder if you're playing a Mad Max sequel. Enter the Highwaymen. Straight out of Hope County, 2035. These lunatics think health and safety is a suggestion, not a rule. Saw blade launchers. Yeah, you heard me. They're literally throwing circular saws at people. These lads take DIY to the next level. I can just imagine them in the garage, thinking, you know what that saw needs? More velocity. And let's slap some explosives on it for good measure. Mickey and Lou are probably kind of people who'll put a grenade launcher on a lawnmower just for hell of it. Now, if you're not into old homicidal lumberjack aesthetic, we've got GS Commando. These lads like to play defense, which means their active defense system, basically an automated no fun allowed box, has finally been fixed. You can now cancel it after deploying, because apparently some people thought it was too much of a pain to use it. Boo-hoo, cry me a river. And shotwire bug? Fixed. No more weird camera angles that make you feel like you've just spun around on a teacup ride at local fair. Now it works like it should. It actually stops things, you know, like defense systems are supposed to. Right, and DedSec. Faction for people who reckon hacking is as easy as Control-Alt-Delete, and who thought spider bots were a great idea, for reasons only devil understands. Cause naught says fun like being stalked by one of these little facehuggers. But don't worry lads, they've upped volume at Spiderbot's footsteps, so now you can hear impending doom from a distance. Lovely, eh? If only they added Jaws theme while they were at it. And let's not forget Lockout Ultra. For those of you who thought getting killed is bad enough, but what if I'm still locked out after I die? Well, guess what? Now even your ghost can suffer. Lockout sticks around when you respawn. Yeah, it's like getting slapped twice to make sure you're really paying attention. But hey, they've reduced lockout duration to 20 seconds, so that's summer, I guess. Just enough time for you to regret your life choices before getting clapped again. Now on to Phantoms, those lads with invisible tank vibes running around thinking they're invincible. Well, they're not. Anymore. And finally patched that cheeky little exploit that gave Phantoms immortality if they triggered Aegis Ultra right before dying. No more respawning with God mode like some glitchy superhero. And, just in time for Christmas, they've added controller force feedback when blocking damage with Blitz Shield. Cause what's a game without your hands vibrating while getting shot at? Right, Libertad. Faction for those who prefer playing nurse while rest does duck killing. But hey, someone's got to hand out plasters and paracetamol mid-battle, right? Libertad's by a Vida boost now reaches further than before. They've increased its range to match its visual effect. So at least now, when you think you're healing your mate who's 2 steps away, you actually are. Miracles do happen. And here's a hot tip, when you leap from a rooftop and deploy that healing mist mid-air, it actually works now. No more mist-defying malfunctions. Because let's be honest, Note says I've got this, like crashing into the ground while your ultra floats off into the sunset. Now onto cleaners. Pyromaniacs, this one's for you. Fire, explosions and drones that shoot flames. It's all very Mad Max meets Elon Musk, innit? But there was this cheeky issue where their incinerator drone would sometimes launch facing wrong way. Yeah, imagine trying to torch your enemies only for your drone to be like, "Nah mate, I'm setting ceiling on fire instead." Good news, they've sorted that out, so now you can burn people on purpose. So overall, DedSec is still a faction if you like irritating people. Phantoms are perfect for those who prefer standing in one spot and pretending they're tough. Libertad's finally learning how to heal without being useless. And cleaners can burn things without looking like Muppets. Everyone's winning, right? Now let's talk maps and game modes. Season 2's got a few new tricks up its sleeve. First up, waterfront map. Because note says tactical combat like a seaside skate park being ravaged by a storm surge. Yeah, it's like Tony Hawk on meth. You've got this arena map where high ground is everything. I mean, you want to grind down your opponents, or just ollie up to boathouse and start smashing skulls in close quarters combat? Waterfront's your spot. But don't worry, you won't need to kickflip to capture zone. Unless that's your thing. Then there's Mayday. Oh, Mayday. The map's so bad for capture the flag they actually removed it from mod. Think about that for a second. This map was so unbalanced, even devs were like, nah, this isn't working, let's bin it. I mean, hats off for recognising trash when they see it, but it's still in other mods, so unlucky there. Now if that wasn't enough, they've thrown in new bomb mode. Objectives rating name, 2 bombs, no respawns, usual chaos. Attackers tried to plant detonator, defenders tried to stop them, and everyone's basically running around like headless chickens. It's got stakes of a casino, but with more explosions. So you know, fun times. And for escort mode fans, like me, they fixed jittery package path issue. So now when you're desperately trying to move damn thing up a hill, it won't look like it's having a seizure. Quality of life improvements, folks. These are things that keep us going. Maps that don't suck and game modes that make you sweat bullets. Just another day in XDefiant, eh? Right, now we're getting to real sweatfest. Ranked mode. Because apparently casual ain't enough for some of you psychos. This is where big dogs play, right? Where every move matters, every death counts. Unless you're in my lobby, in which case you're just here for laughs. Now here's where it gets real fun. Or frustrating, depending on your sanity level. You can now use weapons in ranked mode that you haven't even unlocked yet. Let me repeat that. You can equip guns you haven't earned. Ah, yes. No, it screams fair competition like letting Timmy Two Thumbs rock a fully kitted out AK while restorers are stuck with starter gear. Course, why not? Let's just hand out endgame loot to guy who thinks tactics means standing in open like a target dummy. Genius move. You gotta love it when devs just say, here you go mate, have some power weapons. Don't worry about earning them. But let's not get too salty. It's ranked. So if you're good enough, you'll win, right? Ain't that what all sweaty tryhards say? Skill-based gameplay? Sure, until matchmaking gods decide to stick you with a bunch of players who just learned how to crouch. Then it's every man for himself. Real kicker is, they're trying to make this a skill test, but then let everyone run around with whatever overpowered loadout they can click on. You can't script this level of irony, but here we are. Yet somehow, it works. Barely. You grind through those ranks, you feel like a legend, and then you lose it all next day when a 12-year-old no-scopes you from across map. It's beautiful. So yeah, ranked mod. It's chaos, it's unfair, but it's also only way some of you can prove you're better than your mates. Now whether you deserve that platinum rank or if you got carried by a random squad, that's another story. Alright lads and lasses, we made it. Grand finale, big finish, and honestly, after going through all this, I'm left with one question. Why the hell do we keep playing XDefiant? Is it insane firefights that have us screaming at our screens like we're auditioning for anger management class? Or is it matchmaking that feels like it's trying to actively troll us? I mean, there's a lot here to hate. Bugs, balance issues, usual dev nonsense. But there's also something that keeps dragging us back in, kicking and bloody screaming. Look, XDefiant isn't perfect, far from it. We've got bugs that make game feel like it's held together with duct tape and pure willpower. But at the same time, when stars align and match is good, it's bloody glorious. Devs, they're passionate. You can tell they're trying to make this thing work. Matt Rubin and his lot at Ubisoft, they're in it for the long haul. They're not just rolling out some half-assed cash grab like certain other franchises that shall remain nameless. Call of Duty. XDefiant dares to do things differently, and I respect that. It don't try to be summer, it's not. It's a fast-paced, chaotic arcade shooter that wants you to have fun. It's not holding your hand or pretending every death is cause you didn't grind hard enough for rate loadout. Nah, it's pure skill and chaos mixed together in the most beautiful disaster ever played. So yeah, despite bugs, despite matchmaking that occasionally throws us into 7th circle or hell, and despite the fact that sometimes it feels like games trying to actively ruin our day, we keep coming back. Because underneath all that, there's something fun about it. Something that just works when it works. And that, my friends, is why XDefiant has a chance. It's rough around edges, sure, but it's got potential. And with devs listening, improving and keeping us in loop, I reckon we're in for one hell of a ride. So here's to chaos, here's to rage quits, and here's to wins that make us feel like gods. Now do me a favour, smash that like button, hit subscribe and drop your questions in comments for next episode. Follow me on Twitter @ScottyMcGaming, and I'll see you next time, you magnificent.